The Little Elephant Who Found His Roar. Once upon a time, in a lush jungle filled with tall trees and colorful flowers, there lived a little elephant named Elmo. Elmo was a kind and gentle soul, always helping his friends and playing in the sun. But there was one thing that made Elmo feel different from the other animals in the jungle. He could not roar. All the other animals in the jungle had their own sounds. The lions roared loudly, the monkeys chattered excitedly, and the birds sang sweet melodies. But no matter how hard Elmo tried, his voice was soft and quiet, like a whisper. Whenever he tried to roar, all that came out was a tiny squeak. Elmo felt embarrassed and wished he could roar like the lions. He thought that maybe if he could roar loudly, everyone would notice him and think he was brave and strong. But every time he tried, the other animals would laugh, not meanly, but out of surprise at how funny his little squeak sounded. One day, a great storm began to brew in the jungle. Dark clouds gathered in the sky, and the winds began to howl. The animals scattered to find shelter, but the storm was so strong that many of the smaller animals were getting trapped by fallen branches and vines. The jungle animals needed help, but Elmo was afraid. He didn't know what he could do. Just then, a cry for help came from deep in the jungle. It was a little monkey caught in a tangled vine. Elmo's heart raced. He couldn't just stand there while his friend needed him. Without thinking about his tiny voice, Elmo ran toward the sound of the monkey's cry. As he reached the little monkey, Elmo realized that the vines were too thick to break with his trunk alone. But Elmo remembered something his mother had told him. Your strength lies not in the roar you make, but in the heart you carry. With all his might, Elmo pushed and pulled, using his trunk to untangle the vines. It wasn't easy, but Elmo didn't stop. He knew his friend needed him. Finally, with one last push, the vines broke, and the little monkey was free. You did it, the monkey shouted, hugging Elmo tightly. You saved me. Elmo felt a warm glow inside. He had helped his friend not with a loud roar, but with his heart and strength. As the storm began to clear, Elmo realized that he didn't need to roar like the lions to be brave. His quiet, gentle way was just as powerful. From that day on, Elmo never again worried about his tiny voice. He knew that the strength to help others and show kindness was far more important than any roar.